All right, not so fast, Neil. I'm getting a lot of email from people saying in Michigan, Mississippi, Idaho, Hawaii, you are very selective with your shots. There is great passion and great follow-through on both parties, and crowds are swarming the place. The proof, right now live, Detroit, Michigan, at a key precinct that allows Democratic and Republicans to vote. Well, I do see, maybe I could see some people back there. No, they're the ones counting the votes. Okay, well, don't you worry. We're going to find some proof here. But we have been noticing the turnout so far not off the chart in all of these states. What does that signal? I have no idea. You know, they might also be very efficient. You know, this is this is Jackson, Mississippi, still keeping the door ajar because you never know when an army of voters will just swarm in. So bottom line, it's confusing, but you know, at this point, it's still way too early to say this is disappointing. And who would know that better? Certainly when it comes to Mississippi, than the fine governor of that wonderful state, Phil Bryant. He is endorsing Senator Cruz. All right, Governor, maybe you can allay me of my early concerns that this is not inviting throngs just yet. What are you hearing?
Well, Neil, here in Mississippi, most people are working today. It is a work day. We've grown by over 40,000 jobs in the last 4 years since I've been governor, helping create an environment where the private sector can grow these jobs, and I think that's what Ted Cruz talks about.
Yeah, but Governor, just as a news update for you, sir, a lot of these two-state primaries, the same deal with these other states. People obviously were working, and they voted more. Now, you're right. Maybe at the end of the workday they're going to come out. Is that what you're betting, that we're going to see a lot of heavy
I think it will pick up, but realistically, Neil, we don't see as large a turnout as we have in some other races in some other areas across the country.
Why?
I think it's attributed to Mississippians have been struggling with this choice. There are good people in this race, and some of them may not have been able to make that final decision. Yesterday, I asked them to vote for Senator Ted Cruz. I explained to them why. He is a conservative leader that certainly has job creation at the top of his agenda, national security of both foreign and domestic threats, a secure border. I gave them the Mississippi values that Senator Ted Cruz represents. We've had very positive response today. I think the numbers you see that will be turning out will be after work. Those will go up, but it will not be a record-setting day.
Did you, in your comments, Governor, tell them that today was the day to actually vote?
I did remind them that this is election day. I went to vote this morning. The First Lady even beat me there. But it does not seem as if you have that passion just yet. And hopefully this afternoon after 5 o'clock we'll get a larger turnout. We've encouraged them. I've been on radio stations, television, telling them how important this election is for this primary, but that Americans need to vote. Our fighting men and women have given their very lives for this day. Please take an opportunity to exercise your right and go and vote.
You know, I'm noticing this, I kid you, and you're a very good sport, Governor, but I noticed this is happening in a number of other states, and I'm wondering, this would be a first if it's at least slower than it's been. Do you ever think that it might be a resignation on the part of a lot of voters, Republican, maybe even Democrat as well, where the enthusiasm has been a fraction of what it's been for Republicans, that maybe it's decided, maybe Donald Trump has built a big lead, or folks are convinced, maybe in your state, it's going to be between Cruz and Trump, or something has changed. What do you think it could be?
I think there's a couple of dynamics. I think you're right. I think people believe this is narrowing down to a two-man race. I couldn't tell you much about Democrats. I've never been in that party. They're on a different planet just now in their primary with a socialist Democrat and a Clinton's. But I can tell you our party believes that this is coming to an area where there will be two definitive candidates and they can choose from it. Perhaps they're waiting to get to that point. Also, I think negative campaigning drives down the enthusiasm. I've never been one to be negative or to talk about the other candidate, and that's why we're talking about the good things Ted Cruz has done. Negative campaigning reduces the enthusiasm for people to go out and vote. That's my opinion.
Governor Bryant, thank you very much for taking the time and we'll be watching those crowds because they're going to come, you know, when the workday's done.
Oh, they're rushing to just as soon as they get off work. They're going.
I'm a believer like you. Just like
I'm hanging with you, Neil.
Thank you, Governor.